Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguwele. The National Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its planned nationwide strike, scheduled to commence today, Monday, 12th of January 2026. Following fresh engagements with the federal government, North Central caucus of the association announced the suspension after a series of consultations with government representatives, saying the decision was taken in the interest of patients while discussions continue. We'll bring you the details on the course of the bulletin. Meanwhile, members of the public have commended the resident doctors across the country for their empathy and patriotism in calling off the nationwide industrial action. Well, some of them who spoke with NTA News, however, want the doctors and their employers to reach an enduring agreement in the public interest.
2009, June 11, when the doctors went on strike, I lost my daughter. And that thing cannot be wiped away from my mind.
I think it's very important that they call it off because health is very important to everybody. Once you are sick, there are people who cannot meet up with a private hospital. So the other hospital, government hospital, whereby the less privileged can reach out to.
Let's flip to other issues. The Nigerians and Diaspora Commission has extolled the doggedness and resilience of Miss Chinyenwa Judith Amadi, a Nigerian female biker who successfully completed a historic ride from Lagos to France and back to Nigeria to raise funds and awareness for cancer patients who cannot afford chemotherapy. The chairman, CEO, Abike Dabiri-Rewa, also commended Mr. Odera Okosa, a UK-based fitness entrepreneur and professional sportsman, for his patriotism and mentorship of young Nigerians. This was when she received the two of them in Abuja.
What we all should be doing, not demarketing your country. You may not like one or two persons, but Nigeria is our country. Despite all you do in the UK, you said home will always be home. So, like I said, you'll be one of our diaspora ambassadors, speaking well about your country.
Yeah, and anyone that's coming from abroad, America, UK, you need to travel back to your home country. You need to experience this life because, like I say, Nigeria is the #1 country, and this is where everyone comes back in December. But they should do it throughout the year, not just in 1 month. So, yeah.
Amadi, who rode her power bike to the NIDCOM office in Lagos, began her journey on October 8, 2025, with the aim of raising 100 million naira to support cancer patients across Nigeria. She described the journey as physically and emotionally challenging, but fulfilling. On his part, Odera Okosa says his professional boxing odyssey has enabled him to project a positive image of Nigeria on the international stage. The Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed a fatal multiple vehicle road traffic crash that claimed 12 lives on Sunday, 11 January 2026 at Gada Biu along the Yangwoji Abuja corridor. A statement signed by the Corps Public Education Officer Shagun Ogungbemide says the crash involved 4 vehicles and may have been caused by excessive speed. Out of the 18 persons involved in the crash, 5 victims died instantly at the scene, while 7 others who were successfully rescued and conveyed to the hospital later succumbed to their injuries. 3 others sustained injuries of varying severity and are currently receiving medical attention. Terrorism financing is said to be one of the key drivers of extremist activities. Against this backdrop, the National Defense College organized a strategic level course on countering the financing of terrorism and regional security. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
The 2025 Global Terrorism Index reveals that the Sahel region is responsible for more than 50% of global terrorism-related deaths. While counter-terrorism efforts have recorded notable successes, non-state actors continue to adapt sophisticated cross-border networks.
This threat continues to pose significant challenges to us as individuals.
The strategic level countering the financing of terrorism and regional security costs is designed to equip participants with advanced leadership, analytical and decision-making skills required to disrupt terrorism financing networks.
Terrorists, insurgents, they need a lot of logistics, and this logistics are not planned, and the kernel point, the compact core of this logistics is finance. If you're able to cut down terrorism and insurgency battery funding to even 50%, you'll be able to manage the global crisis.
We must acknowledge the importance of collaboration both at national and regional levels. This is because of the complexity of our geopolitical, economic, cultural, and regional religious interconnectivity in West Africa, the Sahel region by extension, and the African continent as a whole.
The course also emphasizes strategic intelligence cooperation, strengthening enforcement mechanism, and the adherence to international best practices on combating the financing of terrorism aimed at enhancing regional security. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Ministry of Defense is adopting an all-encompassing approach to reposition the armed forces, now not only to be more proactive and professional in tackling national security threats, but also forging international partnerships with enhanced indigenous production of military hardware. Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa reaffirms this at the Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day National Symposium, which was held in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
The attention has shifted to the National Defense College, where the top brass of the nation's armed forces are brainstorming to reposition the nation's security architecture. Let's take a listen from what they have to say.
Today is also a day of remembrance and celebration. Their courage, patriotism, and devotion to duty continue to inspire the men and women of our armed forces and other security agencies. Their legacy must remain central to our national consciousness and guide the decisions we make in shaping defense and security policies.
Strengthen and expand multilateral frameworks such as the Multinational Joint Task Force and the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Security Architecture to collectively manage transnational threats. This strategic approach will enable Nigeria to effectively or efficiently allocate its defense resources towards internal security reform and co-development priorities.
This symposium is part of activities to mark the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. It is a platform to chart a new course and, of course, brainstorm on how to improve the security architecture of the armed forces of Nigeria. From the National Defense College here in Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA.
In a related development, the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, has appealed to the federal government as a matter of national importance to create sufficient welfare package in appreciation of the legions and fallen heroes for their contributions in defending the country. The governor made the appeal during the Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day Thanksgiving service, which was held in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam reports.
The Armed Forces Remembrance Day is a national day set aside by the federal government to honor those who defended our country in the time past, some of whom lost their lives in the line of duty. This necessitated this Thanksgiving service by members of the Legion and the widows of the fallen heroes. While appreciating the spring prize paid by the members of the Legion and the fallen heroes, Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized the need for federal government to create fund as an encouragement to them. He also urged well-meaning Nigerians to contribute their quota in supporting, especially the families of the fallen heroes.
In Imo State, I'll do my best to contribute the quota on behalf of the government of Imo State in ensuring that members of the Legion, members of the bereaved families are supported to the best of our ability.
In his message, Reverend Father Augustine Agawike highlighted the importance of baptism in the Christian race.
To help us to be true disciples of Jesus, faithful to our baptismal commitment. Furthermore, let us commit the souls of our departed heroes on this special Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
Prayers were also offered for the federal and state governments, armed forces, the Legion, and the families of the fallen heroes. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
All right, let's pause from this end. We head to Lagos now to join Adejoke. She has our next set of reports. Hello, Adejoke.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. 81 Division of the Nigerian Army has been commended by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for its unwavering commitment to maintaining peace, safety, and ensuring protection of lives and property across Lagos State. The governor gave the commendation during the combined 2025 West African Social Activities (WASA) of Headquarters 81 Division, Nigerian Army Engineers, and 9 Brigade. Lynn Leneke reports that the governor was represented by the Chief of Staff, Mr. Toyin Akimade Ayinde.
The West African Social Activities, WASA, is a historic tradition dating back to the West African Frontier Force, designed to promote unity and esprit de corps among troops and their families. WASA also provides an opportunity for officers and soldiers to relax and celebrate the achievement of the year. The General Officer commanding 81 Division, Major General Farouk Mijinyawa, emphasized that WASA has remained a cherished tradition, marking the end of the Army's annual activities. He noted that personnel of the 81 Division, like their counterparts nationwide, had actively engaged in operations, training, and internal security that has had positive impact on the security architecture of the country.
I therefore gladly commend the individual and collective efforts of all the formations and units under the division for the achievements recorded by the division in the year 2025.
Let me use this opportunity to applaud President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his unwavering support for our armed forces in line with his renewed hope agenda, which has enabled you to discharge your constitutional responsibilities more effectively.
Highlights of the ceremony included the presentation of awards to outstanding soldiers, display of cultural dances, traditional cuisines from the various zones, and tug-of-war contests. The lowering of the national flag and the lighting of a bonfire signals the close of the 2025 WASA. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
And now to health. Periodic medical checkup plays a significant role in improvement of life expectancy and proactive measures against terminal diseases. While medical experts recommend regular health checks and lifestyle modifications, many Nigerians are yet to imbibe this life-saving culture. Drogwola has more on this.
Just like vehicles need routine servicing, so also is the human body, with food being the major source of energy, as fuel or diesel is to power vehicles. Many untimely deaths could have been prevented, especially cancer and other cardiovascular ailments. Medical experts say a comprehensive medical check should be done once or twice in a year, noting that it is more cost-effective to detect diseases early than when it is too late.
Here are the vitals you should look out for. Your blood pressure. You see, high BP is very common in Nigeria and often has no symptoms. The normal range is around 120/80 millimeters mercury. Then the blood sugar as well, both fasting and random. You see, it's important to prevent diabetes. You should screen. Then the body weight, your BMI and waist circumference. You see, excessive abdominal fat increases risk of diabetes and hypertension. Then the cholesterol and lipid profile are all important.
For men, it is important they check their prostate and other vital organs and women should regularly check for cervical, breast and ovarian cancer. Dental and eye check, medical experts say, are applicable to all, especially those above 40 years of age. For many Nigerians, it is business as usual, as they are still in the habit of waiting for emergency before doing what is necessary.
I've never even gone to any hospital. The only, I think maybe if I had headache, then I would just went to pharmacy nearby to buy paracetamol.
The only sickness when you say they touch my body now, I say catarrh they worry me or cold.
If I just feel any little headache, I also go for it too. Maybe stress, so that it's one of the things BP cause.
Subscription to health insurance, medical practitioners believe, could save costs and reduce the burden of Medicare. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Abubakar Musa in Maiduguri.
We hope you are still on to Nationwide. The news belt now continues in Maiduguri. Borno State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has officially flagged off the electronic membership registration exercise in Maiduguri. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum officially flagged off the e-registration exercise in Maiduguri by electronically obtaining his membership card, with a call on critical stakeholders to ensure success of the exercise. Here is Mohammed Goni with the rest of the story.
The All Progressive Congress electronic membership registration exercise is part of efforts at empowering party leadership at different tiers of government to be able to digitalize and manage membership registers for administrative convenience and to build an inclusive technology-driven political party. The official placard of the e-membership registration exercise had Governor Zulum obtaining his membership card first, followed by the Deputy Governor Umar Usman Kadapur and APC Deputy National Chairman North Ali Bukar Dalori. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, who commended the party leadership for the initiative, also called on the state party stakeholders to provide more devices to fast-track the process.
I call upon all members of our great party to register via the e-platform, which is very important. As we have registered to the others, major stakeholders, like distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, members of the House of Representatives, members of the House of Assemblies, commissioners, advisors, amongst others, are to go and register in their localities.
Borno State APC Chairman Bello Ayuba and the Organizing Secretary Awal Hamza highlighted the importance of the e-membership registration and appreciated Governor Zulum for his support to the e-registration trainer workshop held in Maiduguri. The official plaque-up ceremony also had in attendance members of national and state assemblies, as well as other top government and party officials of Borno extraction. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Away from politics now to bring you some empowerment issues. Borno State government has disbursed 1 billion naira to small and medium-scale enterprises in 5 local government areas of southern Borno senatorial zone. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum launched the disbursement in Biu as part of his 5-day walking visit to the local government area. Here again is Mohammed Guni with the rest of the story.
The beneficiaries of the 1 billion naira were drawn from Biu, Haul, Shani, Bayo and Kwayakusar with the funds intended to support entrepreneurs and enhance business sustainability. Governor Zulum explained that the direct injection of capital into the SME sector is essential for driving grassroots development and fostering self-reliance in the post-insurgency recovery phase. As part of continued efforts at tackling youth restiveness and promoting social stability, the state authorities has ordered immediate employment of 200 young individuals from Biu local government area.
Biu local government is one of the local government areas in Borno State that has a lot of youths, not even youths, a lot of thugs who are doing nothing but creating chaotic situation within the town. So we have penciled most of them down. Those graduates in these 3 youth groups, so that this will also motivate others to study.
Professor Zulum also inaugurated remodeled second chance school for vulnerable girls and women in the area. The newly inaugurated facility is part of a strategic initiative designed to offer adult women, including those who miss formal education, or drop out of school due to security challenges, a pathway to self-reliance. The school curriculum is tailored towards providing comprehensive skill acquisition, critical digital knowledge, and basic literacy and numeracy training. With the BU Center now operational, Zulum's administration has established 3 such schools across the state, with existing centers already operational in Mbama and Maiduguri. After the inauguration, the governor visited BU Specialist Hospital, where he announced the immediate and automatic employment of a number of dedicated volunteer health workers who have already served tirelessly. He also inspected the 100-unit teachers' housing estate under construction in BU Town. The estate is part of Borno State government's motivational strategy to attract and retain qualified teaching professionals in public schools. Governor Zulum has also directed immediate commencement of rehabilitation work on the Borno State Hotel Annex in Biu. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Away from Governor Zulum's 5-day walking visit to local government areas in southern Borno now to return to Ruth in Abuja for the rest of the news. So Ruth.
At the start of the bulletin, we told you that the National Association of Resident Doctors suspended their planned nationwide strike, which was scheduled to commence today. So let's bring you that report.
Caucus leader Dr. Fanin Dogo, who spoke off camera, said the suspension does not mean the issues that prompted the threat to strike has been resolved. However, engagements would continue. Among the key demands is the immediate reinstatement of doctors sacked from the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja. The association is also protesting the non-payment of salaries, arrears, and allowances, including 18 months outstanding entitlements owed. Other issues include delayed payment at the entry point for newly employed doctors, unpaid promotion arrears, and the non-implementation of the review professional allowance structure, which took effect from June 2024, but is yet to be captured in the 2026 budget. In the meantime, some hospitals visited have NAD members who are present in the operational areas, rendering services to the sick. In Abuja, Moses Kuye, NTA News.
Nigeria's livestock industry is recording unprecedented interventions and policy breakthroughs designed to reposition the industry for growth, food security, and global competitiveness. Yusuf Jika will tell us more.
Nigeria's livestock industry has come of age, increasingly adopting modern technology across production processes, winning domestic and foreign investors, and contributing significantly to the nation's gross domestic product. Notable progress to transform the industry aligned with the renewed hub drive are on the rise. Among these achievements is the pilot project to revamp the nation's gazetted grazing reserves to include Wase in Plateau, Wawazengi in Gombe, Gongwashi in Adamawa, and Kawu Grazing Reserve in the Federal Capital Territory, among other several efforts ongoing to revive some of the dormant livestock infrastructures across the country. On animal health delivery, the ministry is leaving nothing behind to ensure that livestock population are safe and healthier through the construction of the state-of-the-art veterinary hospitals, diagnostic laboratories, and championing animal vaccination across the nation to boost food production and enhance resilience.
We have discovered the baseline value of Nigerian livestock is $32 billion, and we have that ambitious program to grow the sector to $74 billion in the next 10 years.
With these developments, Nigeria is fast redefining the future of its livestock industry, one investment at a time, stronger animal health, higher productivity, and better livelihoods. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
So Nigeria has been making strides in transforming the livestock sector based on that report, and with initiatives aimed at attracting investment and boosting productivity. Now, what does this mean for Nigeria's agricultural sector and the economy? Earlier, we had a guest, Dr. Samuel Anzaku, who is the Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria. He talked, about the prospect for the sector.
Yes, we say we have a $32 billion livestock economy, which we want to grow in the next 10 years by 2035 to 74 billion. So how do we do this? Just to tell you that actually the National Livestock Transformation Plan that you're talking about, which was inaugurated by Mr. President so many years ago, with Professor Jega. All the inputs from those plans and other plans were integrated into this National Livestock Growth Acceleration Strategy. So it is not a standalone. Okay. It is based on an existing document. We are working with several partners. It is not just a government activity. We want livestock to be looked at as a business, because year in, year out, we've done a lot of interventions by government, but the sustainability and the profitability of some of these interventions have left so much to be desired.
So let's look at education. The federal government's resolve to improve educational standards and reduce the burden on parents through a policy framework that prioritizes the use of durable, reusable textbooks designed to last between 4 to 6 years has been described as a step in the right direction. Uche Onwe, who spoke with some parents in Port Harcourt, has this to say.
Parents were both teachers. In our time in the primary school, the older siblings leave their books for you to take, and that is what I think the standard of education does not fall as a result of that.
They were not extorting money from parents. My father was a civil servant, and we know how the pay was as at that time. So we continue inheriting textbooks. The only thing we don't inherit, we exercise books. We inherit textbooks from our elder ones. So if the government can help us to return us back to that days when we don't spend much.
Those were testimonies from parents who commend the reusable textbooks policy, which eases the burden of parents from constantly discarding and buying new books for their wards, thus reducing costs. The aim of the renewed Hope administration policy on education is to reduce stress and revive the educational system in Nigeria. But lack of strict monitoring and enforcement of policies has been a major setback. The proliferation of private schools over the years has also given room for profiteering through the exploitative use and dumb textbook syndrome.
2 years they are doing it. They are changing no, not really.
Observers say the policy will hopefully rejig the academic system along with a uniform academic calendar and textbooks to help students during external exams. In Port Harcourt, Uchechukwu Onwe, NTA News.
So we join our correspondent now from Port Harcourt, Kinsley. I'm sure you followed that report. And as a parent, I want to believe this is a relief for you, going by the policy we saw from the Ministry of Education a few days ago. But what are the residents saying? We see parents from that report are, in consent to that. But what did you gather?
Of course, Ruth, I would like to welcome you to Port Harcourt to say that this policy is welcomed by every parent in Port Harcourt. For a state like Rivers State, where there are competing demands for disposable income, especially for parents who have their wards and children in schools, this is a big relief. And beyond what the federal government has just said, many are also envisaging that the policy should be followed to later, given the challenges that usually trail some of the policies in the past. When policies comes up like this, they are not followed to the later. Now, when you come to Rivers State, you are talking about this policy relieving parents the financial burden of buying textbooks, especially those who have 2, 3, 4 wards and children in schools. Every year they keep repeating purchase of the same textbook for their different children. This actually is a big relief. And now, aside from those in the public school, the concerns for some of those parents who have also interacted with us is that given the expanding nature of Port Harcourt, the growing population density, the private schools are also filling the gaps in terms of providing academic resource for those who seek formal education. Now, how do the authorities effectively implement this policy in private schools? This is also a key question that have also drawn the attention of experts who also need the government to also do something very tangible to ensure that the policy is effectively implemented such that The public schools and their counterpart in the private sector also benefit in the process. I have here a teacher with me, Mr. Keith Akabo, which I also like him to bring him in to get his perspective. For you, Mr. Akabo, what do you think will be the overall implication of this policy, especially for parents and teachers like you and others in the academic sector?
Well, I think federal government, they are trying to put everybody in perspective to make sure that academics, education works in Nigeria. However, the policy of education that has to do with reuse of textbook over time, it has economic implications. It also has educational implications. When we're talking about economic implication, it means that it will help some indigent parents to, to save money. That money ordinarily they would have used to buy new textbook. They can use it to buy school uniform. They can use it to pay school fees and all that. But then, I think the most important thing is try to confirm if the textbook use are able to meet up with today's demand.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it. Of course, we've heard from Akabo, the textbooks also should be able to make the current demands of academic needs of contemporary society. And of course, for those in the hinterland and the coastal area, this is also an added advantage to them. Ruth is back to you in the studio. Thank you.
All right, Kinsley, the debates will be on, especially when we get to see revised edition of some of these textbooks keep coming out. That's a talk for another day, Kinsley. Thank you for that insight from your end. Thank you. So, looking at other issues, a resident of Hadejia in Jigawa State, Malam Abdulhadi Ibrahim, is seeking justice over the alleged disappearance of his 16-year-old daughter, Walida Ibrahim, who went missing 2 years ago. The teenager was recently traced and is alleged to be living outside the state, where she was reportedly married and converted to Christianity under disputed circumstances. Our correspondent, Awal Mohammed Kazauri, reports.
Abdulhadi Ibrahim told NTA News that his daughter Walida Ibrahim disappeared from Hadejia 2 years ago, throwing the family into prolonged emotional distress. He claims that the teenager was recently traced and is alleged to have been married under circumstances the family considers forcefully, involving a security official identified as Ifanyi Onyewiye.
After these 2 years, just one day, someone over the phone called to inform me that a marriage with my daughter has been arranged in Abuja.
Counsel to the family, Kabiru Adamu, has called for full and impartial investigation, urging authorities to comply with an earlier ruling of the Hadejia Magistrate Court, which ordered inquiry into the matter and efforts to reunite the girl with her family.
The DSS will appreciate their effort by apprehending the suspect, but that is not enough. We are asking them to fully comply with the order of the court.
The father further alleged that the trauma resulting from Walida's disappearance contributed to the death of her mother 2 months ago. Meanwhile, Jigawa State Police Command confirmed receipt of court's directive, but noted that the case currently falls outside its jurisdiction as the parties involved are not domiciled in the state. In Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
Katsina State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has arrested 118 suspects and seized illicit drugs and other psychotropic substances weighing over 2,400 kilograms in 2025. Awal Haliru will tell us about it.
An abuse of drugs and other psychotropic substances remain a global challenge, posing a serious threat to peace and stability in the society. The menace, particularly among youths, has pushed many into early graves, destroyed generations, and negatively affected economic growth and development. This has necessitated the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to intensify operations. In Katsina State, during the year under review, the agency recorded significant achievements through the disruption of supply chains, seizure of illicit drugs, and the arrest of suspects.
This is a routine activity aimed
at keeping the public informed of our efforts to combat drug abuse and illicit trafficking, which threaten social stability, growth, and development of our state and nation in general.
A total of 1,018 suspects were arrested, comprising 922 males and 26 females. The state commander further disclosed that 86 suspects were arraigned, 87 convicted, several others currently under investigation, while 203 suspects were counseled, rehabilitated, and trained in various entrepreneurial skills. In Katsina, Awal Halaru.
So Sokoto will be our next stop. Let's join Sadia. Let's find out what's happening from her end. Sadia.
And thanks for joining us. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has flagged off the issuance of appointment letters to the newly recruited teachers in the state with a renewed commitment to revamping the education sector. The event also saw the presentation of first-degree certificates to some 50 state scholarship students who graduated from a private university but were put on hold for about a decade. Jamil Ibrahim has details.
The Zamfara State government has since, in the third quarter of 2025, commenced the process of recruiting additional 2,000 teachers as part of measures to address the dearth of especially science and core subject teachers in public secondary schools across the state. This is a symbolic presentation of letters of appointment to 500 newly recruited teachers that form the first batch of the recruitment exercise performed by Governor Dauda Lawal at the Government House, Gusau.
A recruitment exercise. It is a strategic intervention to address teachers' shortages, improve learning outcomes, and reposition a school for excellence. Education reforms begin in the classroom, and teachers are the backbone of that reform.
In a related development, Governor Dauda Lawal has presented first-degree certificates to some 50 indigenes of Zamfara State whose outstanding school fees were paid by the state government after the results were withheld by a private university for a decade.
I don't think there are words or collection of words that are able to express our happiness to you, Your Excellency.
One of the recipients is a first-class graduate, while many others graduated with second-class upper division, even as Governor Dauda Lawal has directed the State Head of Service to give the beneficiaries a special consideration in the state government's recruitment exercise. In Gusau, Jamil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Stakeholders have gathered to assess the impact of the Northwest Development Initiative on peace building and social cohesion in Sokoto, one of the frontline states in the Northwest region long been experiencing insecurity. The review focuses on lessons learned, successful partnership, and how collective responsibility has contributed to stronger, more resilient communities. Dalatu Abdullahi has the report.
With the theme engaging youth and women as agents of social cohesion through resilience building and community peace initiatives, the initiative aims to foster peaceful and inclusive societies. This is against the backdrop that the Northwest communities are increasingly challenged by social pressures, including limited livelihood opportunities, gender disparities, and emerging communal tensions that threaten coexistence.
The Sokoto State House of Assembly once again is committed and is willing to partner with these development partners and this nation in making sure that we impact positively the development of our states.
Is that we are able to, educate more than 15,000 people on the issues around prevention and countering violent extremism, which before this they are not even aware of what is prevention or countering violent extremism.
Stakeholders emphasized that sustainable peace cannot be achieved through short-term or purely security-driven interventions, noting that lasting stability requires empowering those most affected by conflicts, especially youth and women. To this end, over 50,000 youth and women across the Northwest Corridor were supported to strengthen community cohesion. In order to promote grassroots engagement, 2 communities were selected, each from Kware, Wamako, Sokoto North and South local government areas. In Sokoto, Dalatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And those are the updates from here. Ruth, is back to you.
Thank you, Sadia. All right, since its unveiling, the Zamfara Community Protection Guards have become a focal point of discussion among security analysts and residents as the guards continue to respond to threats posed by bandits and other criminals. Stakeholders have advocated for sustained investment in security architecture. Haliru Mohammed reports.
The Zamfara Community Protection Guard was launched in 2024 as a bold step to further complement the conventional security agencies in the fight against insecurity. The initiative, named Askarawan Zamfara, recruited more than 2,600 personnel from the 14 local government areas of the state that received a 3-month training conducted by the Army, Police, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps.
With the current trend in the last 2 years, I can say that their presence has made significant impact.
The security expert, like other stakeholders, believed that more needs to be done to enhance the operational capacity of the security outfit.
Only that the number is not enough. The challenge of manpower, they equally have the challenges of welfare.
The recent appointment of a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police who took charge of the Force Counter-Terrorism Unit as commandant of the organization is also seen as a step in the right direction.
This time around, we are going to be all out to deal with the issue of insecurity in Zamfara State.
As Zamfara moves forward, it is believed that the Community Protection Guard, if adequately equipped and well managed, will serve as a model that could shape Nigeria's broader approach to internal security. In Gusau, Halir Muhammad, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force FCT Command has recorded a major breakthrough in its war against violent crime with the arrest of 3 notorious one-chance armed robbery suspects linked to the brutal murder of Abuja-based legal practitioner Barrister Princess Chigo Nwamaka Miadatrix. A statement by the force says operatives of the command's Scorpion Squad deployed digital intelligence to track the victim's mobile phone, leading to coordinated raids in Dede, Dakwa and Dantata communities in Kubwa, and the arrest of 3 suspects, Sefula Yusuf, 22, Isha'u Yusuf, 24, who are brothers, and Mikailu Jabril, alias Dan Hajia. Investigations revealed that on January 5, Barrister Chigbo boarded the suspect's black Volkswagen Golf 3 along the Kubwa Expressway, unaware she had entered a criminal trap. The suspects allegedly wound up the tinted windows, threatened her with weapons and demanded ransom. When she resisted, she was violently assaulted and pushed out of the moving vehicle, leading to her tragic death. The gang confessed to selling her Android phone for 120,000 naira and sharing the proceeds among themselves. Police also recovered weapons and restraints believed to have been used in the operations. As efforts intensified to arrest a 4th suspect still at large, CP Dentawai commended the operatives and reassured residents of the command's commitment to crushing criminal syndicates. Residents are urged to remain vigilant and avoid suspicious vehicles and report any suspicious move. All right, let's find out what's happening in Benin as we join Obehi. Obehi?
Thank you very much for joining us here in Benin. Governor Monday Okpebholo has condemned the attack on the Onoje of Ekpoma's palace following a protest that blocked major highway and destroyed property in Ekpoma. The governor's condemnation was shortly after he assessed the level of the damage done with top officials, the police and APC leaders. Goodluck Enaine reports.
Governor Paulo, who is unhappy with the level of damage, noted that protest must never be used as an excuse for lawlessness. Perpetrators must be brought to justice. Items destroyed include vehicles, chairs, and goods belonging to the Onoje's wife.
We have planned something. Security is secret, and I'm not supposed to say it to anybody, and we are still going to carry it out. We will leave no stone unturned The way we are going after the kidnappers, the same way we will go after them. Because we don't even know whether they are the one aiding them. We don't know whether they are the one giving them information. By the time we finish this operation that will happen here, these things will stop in as a whole.
Earlier, the Onoje of Ekpoma Zaiki Anthony Eizoji Abumare II described the incident as unfortunate, as many protesters were under the influence of illicit drugs.
This has never happened in this town before, in Ekpoma before. I don't know what is going on. I don't know why these people did this thing. So at the appropriate time, traditionally, we'll still do what we are going to do traditionally on it. I know the government is trying to their best to ensure that Edo State is safe.
Governor Pewolo assured the traditional ruler and the people of Ekpoma that decisive security operations were imminent, stressing that law and order will be fully restored in the communities and across Edo Central. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NT News.
And now to health. A new chapter in Nigeria's healthcare journey has opened in Asaba, Delta State, as the Federal Medical Center marks a milestone with the birth of the country's first Health Caregivers Academy. The initiative aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda aimed at strengthening healthcare delivery and advancing universal health coverage. Helen Duku reports that the Federal Medical Center Asaba is first in the nation to float the government-owned academy.
Health caregiving job is aimed at supporting individuals who need help with daily living due to age, illness, or disability. These duties can range from basic physical assistance to complex medical and emotional support based on specifics. Chairman, Board of Directors, Federal Medical Center, Asaba, who doubles as National Women Leader of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Mary Idile Alili, said that the agenda of President Tinubu on health is taking a new dimension.
The Caregiver Academy is majorly a product of Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his vision for the Renewed Hope agenda on health.
Delta State government was represented by the head of service, Dr. Minimi Oseji, Medical Director, FMC Asaba, Dr. Ekenem Omo, and founder of the Public Health Caregiving Academy, Dr. Anastasia Ojimba, are hopeful that the pioneer graduates will prove their mettle in healthcare support system.
This academy was created to equip such individuals with the skills, values, and professionalism required to serve with dignity.
Best 3 graduates were awarded for excellence, and certificates were presented to the 87 graduates. In Asaba, Helen Dunku, NTA News.
And that's the latest from this zone. Nationwide continues with Ruth.
All right, thank you for staying tuned and thank you for being part of Nationwide. That's it for today. Thank you. Do have a good evening.